No Rest for the Soul by Cindi Sansone-Braff, starring Debi, Toni, and Peter Muhr.
Hello, Mr. Benjamin. I'm second keeper of the records.
Doesn't anyone up here have a real name? I just met up with some uptight chick before who said her name was first keeper of the records.
The longer you stay in spirit, the less likely you are to hold on to a name from a past life. I can see the first keeper of the records did quite an extensive interview with you, but it doesn't look like you were very cooperative. That chip on your shoulder you had all your life is about to be chiseled off, Michelangelo style. Okay, it says here that you were a rock star. That's cool. Let me see. Back in the 90s, you even won a Grammy for Best New Artist. Impressive. But wait. Oh, I'm beginning to get it now. You were one of those, what do they call that down on Earth? Uh,
One hit wonder.
Kind of like Bobby McFerrin with Don't Worry, Be Happy. Only God really liked that song with its upbeat, positive message. Your hit, I'm gonna drink, drug like there's no tomorrow. Not so much. God had hoped with a musical gift like yours that you would have used it to lift humanity, not drag it into the gutter.
What I've seen so far, celestial civil servants are very judgmental.
It's our job to evaluate who you were and what you did during the 50 years you walked the earth. We're not judging you, we're judging your actions. Weighing of the soul, if you will, to see if you did more right than wrong, more good than bad. Moving right along here. After your big Grammy win, you cut a deal with another major record label, but you never came through with that album. It says here that you didn't like the direction your record producer was taking your music in, so you told him to.
Shove it up his corporate ass.
No wonder you were blackballed across the country. Then you tried your hand at movies, but you couldn't seem to learn your lines. When first keeper of the records asked why you think that was, you said, ah, 'cause the dialogue sucked. Are you sure you didn't have anything to do with the fact that you were courting Ms. Marijuana and hanging out with Mr. Cocaine for 2 decades?
Hey, I'm starting to think you don't like me very much, and I'm not gonna get a fair trial.
You're not on trial, Mr. Benjamin. I'm trying to get you to take some accountability for your less than stellar actions on Earth. This way, when you go to the third keeper of the records, maybe, just maybe, she'll cut you some slack. Her recommendations as to what realm you're to go to from here and for how long and when your next incarnation should be will then be given to God. If it all looks kosher to the Almighty, then it's a done deal. Therefore, it would be best if you would work with me. We really need to smooth out some of the rough edges of your life and find valid reasons for your actions. The fact that you threw away a relatively good body, well, that's a hard one to gloss over. It's amazing your body held up so well, considering all your substance abuse.
Hold it right there. I had a relatively healthy body because I was a vegan, practiced yoga every day, and I went on a detox retreat 3 times a year.
I'll put in a good word for you on that one. But still, taking your own life when you still had another 25 years allotted to you is a serious no-no.
In my defense, I really think the deck was stacked against me from day one. I mean, look at the facts. I had an alcoholic father who beat me, a bipolar mother hated me, big brother who tortured me, alphabet soup and mental challenges, including ADHD, OCD, PTSD. From first grade on, I was prescribed Ritalin. put in the dumb classes because I was colorblind. Nobody figured that out. I thought I was just stupid as all hell coloring the sky purple and the tree stumps green. I couldn't stand being laughed at for mismatching my outfits and for wearing 2 different colored socks. So black became my signature color.
Anything else you'd like to add to that?
When I was in my 20s, my psychiatrist put me on Prozac for my depression, Adderall for my attention deficit, and Xanax because she's probably getting a kickback. To my credit, I weaned myself off that pharmacology cocktail in 2000. I thought a new millennium deserves a new Cliff Benjamin. But after a while, I found the anxiety and panic attacks returning with a vengeance. That's when I started smoking a little pot again. More recently, I got some medical marijuana, and a little pot became a lot of pot. That made me sleepy. So I had to use a little coke to get me through the day.
Okay, it says here that in the last 20 years, you had 5 rounds of rehab and a year-long stint in a psychiatric hospital.
Doesn't that prove I really tried? I've seen a ton of therapists. I've done month-long spiritual retreats. I've been to witches, shamans, voodoo men, Reiki masters, every other New Age healer I could get my hands on. But it never helped. My mind was like a torture chamber day and night, recurring, obsessive, irrational, tormenting thoughts.
So that's why you decided to off yourself 2 nights ago?
I just turned 50. I was running out of money, out of work, and hooked on drugs again. I didn't really want to die. I just didn't want to live that way anymore. I wanted to hit the reset button, go to God, start over.
God sees your intention. And I need to be sure that we word your intention properly. That might help the third keeper of the records to go a little easier on you. So let me see if I got this right. Your intention wasn't to hurt anyone.
Of course not.
You do realize that your death has caused a great deal of needless pain.
I just couldn't deal with my own demons anymore. It was more of a mercy killing. Euthanasia.
All right, now let me check your, let me take a look at your suicide note. Okay, you did write, I'm truly sorry for any and all suffering my action may have caused. And I see you addressed the note to your friends, family, and fans stating, first and foremost, you didn't fail me. I failed you. Well, that definitely works in your favor. But I'm sorry to have to be the one to tell you this, but while you're up here in spirit, you'll have to witness a few hours a day the pain your so-called mercy killing caused others. You'll have to see them cry, process guilt as to why they didn't see this coming, and watch them agonize over what they could have or should have done to stop this.
Fair enough.
Well, now I'm supposed to give you a small sampling of how painful those few hours a day are going to be for you. A good place to start with that process is to look at your Facebook page. Let me get that up on the screen. Okay. My, there are a lot of Cliff Benjamins. Oh, here you are. Okay. Let me get that up on the screen. Okay. Let's take a look at the few of the comments people posted on your fan page. This one is from your sister. Why didn't you talk to me? Why? I keep racking my brain over this. I would have tried to help. My heart is broken. What more can I say other than I will be in agony all the rest of my days? R.I.P. my dear, sweet baby brother Cliff. This one is from one of your fans. A one-hit wonder, they called him. but his one hit was the theme song for me and my buds throughout our college days. He was a visionary, manic, and totally misunderstood. R.I.P. Cliff. I hope you're soaring with the angels. Oh, this one is from one of your girlfriends. My heart is heavy tonight. I just learned of the passing of a most beautiful soul, Cliff Benjamin. To those of us who knew and loved him, he was fierce, unpredictable, and wild. Brilliant, passionate, gifted with the creative force that could rip through the structure of society like a cyclone. He was troubled, tormented, and totally screwed up, but never once did I imagine he would ever take his own life. Forgive me for not being there for you. More often than not, you were my earth angel. Rest in peace, Cliff. And this one is from an old band member. Just got a call about my friend and fellow band member, Cliff Benjamin. I am gutted with emotion. Cliff was a musical genius, a splintered soul with the most fragile of hearts, and I loved him. When I was at the lowest point in my life, Cliff would check in on me once a week to make sure I was okay. He will be missed by me and millions of his fans. R.I.P. Cliff. Notice how each one said some variation of R.I.P. Cliff. Rest in peace. A nice theory, but dead wrong. There is no rest for a soul. There is reset, redo, reset again, redo. You know the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. But rest? No. There is no rest for a soul. A soul, by its very nature, has to keep on learning and aching and doing and expanding and evolving. So if you came here to rest, Mr. Benjamin, you've come to the wrong place. Now, when you go to the third keeper of the records, and more importantly, when you go to God, I would advise you to say how sorry you are for the pain and suffering that your suicide has caused the living souls who loved you and who must live for the rest of their earthly days with a gnawing feeling that they let you down. Then I advise you to gracefully accept the realm that you are to inhabit while here in spirit. Agree to the year that you will reincarnate again, whether that's a week from next Tuesday or 100 years from tomorrow. And whatever you do, do not object to the kind of body that you'll be given in your next incarnation. I have recommended in my report that God be kind to you and give you the same body you had in your most recent lifetime. I'm sure you would like that.
I had no objection to my physical body. It served me well.
It sure did. It says here that in 1996, Persons Magazines named you the sexiest man alive. Now, we're both in agreement that you had one hell of a body in your last lifetime. But I have to warn you, though, I doubt that will happen again. You may reincarnate with a major physical disability, be born with an incurable disease, or get hurt or maimed early on in your life. After all, as I have mentioned before, you threw away a relatively healthy body. Again, we can only hope for the best. With God, you can never really know beforehand how these things will go. And just for your edification, many good people choose of their own volition to reincarnate with all kinds of disabilities, physical, mental, psychological, and emotional ones, to help them learn their karmic lessons.
Well, wait a second. Are you trying to tell me that I chose the mental disabilities I had in my last lifetime to learn some kind of karmic lessons?
No, I wasn't implying that at all, but I could check on that for you. Just a minute. Oh, this is bad news. You're a very old soul, and The last time you were a soul in spirit, God let you choose your body, your creative talent, and your disabilities. And look what you did with that. Back then, God told you that you hoped to learn fortitude, gratitude, perseverance, endurance, and sobriety. I don't believe you reached any of those goals. Oh, well, on a positive note, it doesn't look like you ever intentionally hurt anyone in your entire life. Now, that's good. Very good indeed. And I can see that when you had money, you were exceedingly generous with one and all. Good, 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 good. However, since you didn't do so hot with the lot you chose for yourself, third keeper of the records and God will choose all those things for you this go around. They may give you the same body, but without the musical talent, or you might get your musical talent with a different body, or the same psychological issues with a different gender and race. And anyway, all that's way above my pay grade. And again, I state, this time you will have no say in the final decision. We can't defy the law of karma, you know. What goes around comes around and all that jazz. But rest assured, God is fair. Infinitely fair.
I was just hoping to get a rest.
Like I said before, there is no rest for a soul. Good luck, Mr. Benjamin. Third keeper of the records is waiting for you. When you finish here, your work with the Holy Trinity of the records is completed. Then you, all by your lonesome, will meet your Maker. Ultimately, God's will trumps us all. Godspeed, Mr. Benjamin. Godspeed.